Last week, James Knight came aboard the boat to come with us up the Intercoastal Waterway. This week, James is going to show Eric how to change the filters on the new 50. We spent the night here in Coinjock last night, and nice place. We went into the restaurant. The guys had some prime rib. I had some seafood. It was pretty good. I'd go back. We are moored at a fixed dock. Fixed docks are new to us, and you have to get your fenders on pretty much after you get to the dock so that you can get them in the right spot. And as you can see here, the door is below the fixed dock. It's actually not a problem. This boat's smaller. My legs are pretty long, so I just go right over the side here, and it's been pretty dang easy. Here's the bar area. There's also an inside restaurant. Looked like a lot of people were having fun here last night. A couple more boats came in over the night. This one's pretty big. Glad I didn't have to steer it through that little crazy area. Distin's really enjoying having some grass. Well, we're not leaving immediately. Eric just filled up the fuel tanks. What are you doing now?
I knocked this rubber thing off that protects this piece.
Oh no, you knocked it off?
Yes, I did. So we're gonna do something to try to make it.
Oh man, where'd it go? In the water?
In the water. In the water.
Lost a scupper door right there yesterday too. Boat just never ending, is it? I've been in here. I've made a breakfast casserole, and that should last us a few days. James is working on the water to make sure it's clean. They wanted a second cup of coffee, and I said, well, I need water first. That is James working on our front water tank. He has emptied it. Now he's cleaning it, and then he'll fill it up again. I think he wants to have clean water to drink. I have water again, and it's clean water. And the guys are down there now changing filters. So new boat, new processes. Still have to change filters. James is showing Eric how to do it quicker, easier with his new system. As you can tell, this engine room isn't a stand-up engine room, but it's still pretty roomy.
Is this considered a tiny screwdriver?
Okay, so that was the reason that the engine was struggling a little bit.
Is this small enough? Not so small.
When you hear your RPMs fluctuating a little bit, come check your filter gauge.
Which is right here.
And we were pulling about
11.
10, 11,
Yeah.
but that wasn't a wide open throttle, that was just 1600 RPM.
Yeah.
If we'd have gone wide open throttle, it probably would have increased somewhat. So, okay, so that's out. Now the question is, do we have the time, or do we have the inclination to clean it all out? And the answer is, well,
Probably.
do you have a place to put the fuel?
No, there.
That's empty?
That is empty, yeah.
Okay.
So this one is much
Right,
bigger than...
let me show you how I would do it. We'll do one.
Okay, yep, and then I can do the others.
So let's just put the filter in here. Let's string the rest of this out. I mean, if I was in a hurry, I would probably just pop the filter in, fill it up, and go.
Right.
But
No, but if we get that one clean... I mean,
that one doesn't look too bad, does it?
No, it doesn't. None of the others are bad. As bad as that one.
so it depends how sticky the asphaltenes are as to how
How well
easily they
clean.
come off of that diffuser. The diffuser here in the middle. You can pump. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Okay, go ahead and pump. Go down the other side here. Yep. That's not bad.
No, that looks great. That looks better than it was. Much better than before.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Nice.
So that's a
That's
pretty
nice.
quick, easy way to get rid of some of those
That's very nice.
asphalt things and junk that's in there.
Very nice. Actually, let me have this.
Okay, shoot. And so the new filter, which is right behind you.
And did you want the screwdriver for the
Seal.
seals there?
Somebody's watching. What is going on down here?
She's,
Why is everybody in the engine room and why wasn't I invited?
Yeah. She, I'm surprised she's not whining.
She was.
Was she?
You just didn't hear.
Alright, so always change the seals.
Yep.
When I get on a boat and find a whole bunch of these baggies,
Yep.
a bunch of baggies that still have the seals in
Yep.
them, it tells me that the
Yep.
person doing the filters didn't do the job properly.
That's the whole. I found a whole bunch of those little bags. I sure did.
Shh. Okay. So, in order to fill this up on a 50, we're going to use the fuel pump.
That's one. Okay. Interesting.
And
to see how this
on the
works.
supply manifold, we're going to turn off the main engine. In fact, we're going to turn everything off. Let's just slide those off of there. Off, get that off, get that off. Okay, is the fuel pump turned on at the breaker panel
It
upstairs?
is not.
Okay, the fuel transfer thing is
It's
on.
on. Okay.
It's leaking over.
Oh, yeah. Is that bag leaking? Just put that down there and I'll put it on top.
No, stay there. You do not need to be in here too. No, stay there.
Yeah. I think you can push the plug. Oops.
Okay.
We need another.
Alright, so on the fuel transfer, we're going to select a tank to draw from.
Port would be a good one because we're at listing to port actually. Or actually, no. I think we are listing
We're
the port. We are listing the port.
Yeah, so we want to pull out of the port. So we're going to open the port. Coming from. Okay. The rest of them stay closed. We should now. I can't remember what kind of pump is on here.
It's not a fast one. It's a slow one.
Okay, it's that one. All right, perfect. So we're just going to turn the pump on. You can hear that it pumped up to a head.
Yep.
Now, if I open the fuel pump valve on here, you should hear the pump pick up speed.
Yep. You did.
So we know the pump's working, and we know the pump is pulling fuel. All right. So if we open up the pump valve on here, it's going to pressurize this manifold. And if we select the filter that we want to fill, and we open up main engine,
We'll fill it. Cool. That's
now we
nice.
got control here. As soon as we want to stop filling it,
Okay.
now obviously you can't do this as easily underway.
No.
You can do it, but you have to be quite cautious.
You have fuel all over. Well, actually, with the engine running.
You can do it, but you have to juggle the valves, and you got to make sure that you don't starve the engine while you're doing it. So what I normally do is just push this down and hold it because it's got a spring.
Yeah.
Those are in this one, and then I watch as it comes up, and I'll just bring it up to the top of the filter. I'll usually leave a little bit of a gap.
Okay.
Doesn't matter if there's an air pocket in the top. In fact, it makes
Will it suck it? Will it?
No, it'll stay in there, and then when you take the top off next time,
Oh, really?
you won't have a mess.
Okay.
Usually I'll have a flashlight so I can see it coming up. I don't have one. Oh, there it is. Okay, so when it hits the top, normally it slows because it's soaking into the filter.
Right.
So we're right there at the top.
Let it soak a little bit, just to make sure, yeah.
Yeah. It's good right there. Just a turn
James. Actually, spin it to, is that?
Where do you want it?
I want it so I can read the brake core. Is that the way it's supposed to be? Yes, I do. That's the way I like it.
Okay.
Okay.
Done.
All right. Cool.
Alright, and let's turn the pump off for a second.
Okay.
And we'll do the same thing with the other one.
Okay.
So check it.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep. Yes, please.
They pour nicely until Kimberley starts filming.
Yep. And then it goes all over.
Every boat should have one of these.
It's very handy. Other than sucking more water than fuel.
I always like to see my technicians carrying these around in their van.
Yeah, so then I have to go get one.
And I'm just gonna, on this one, let's see, I don't know,
So we'll just change the filter. Looks like that's all we need, right?
maybe.
So you're changing the filter in this one too?
Yep.
We're gonna check it anyway. But if it's got some color to it, then we'll do it.
Yeah, we're halfway through. No, it's pretty good. Well, it's starting to get dark there towards the bottom, huh?
You're cool. You wanna do it?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's just do it. So it's about
Eric's
here.
leaning against
What the whole one was.
the rail around the engine.
There was quite a lot of air in the top of that one, actually.
Was there?
So pay attention next time you do it, if it's collecting air. Well, when we run off of it, we'll look and see if we're getting any bubbles.
Okay.
You know, if we're sucking bubbles,
Uh-huh.
then they will end up in the top and build up in the top until,
It stars itself.
yeah.
So then you got to start thinking about.
So that one's pretty
fuel
clean,
line.
so we're just going to pop the filter in and not bother cleaning the inside.
So does the main engine have 3? Is that what's going on?
It's
Or
got
2?
2, but it's got one that you use and then one as a backup. So yesterday when we had that problem with the fuel filter being clogged,
You switched
we
to
just
the other
came
one?
down and switched to the other one. When
Yeah.
you walk into an engine room and somebody has it on both, you know that they're not really understanding the whole principle
What the was, right?
of having a dual rate.
Right.
You know when that one was last changed?
I do not know, but you can look on there. There's not many. It's not. It's been a while. I bet.
Do you have one?
I think I have this filter. I may have this filter. This is one of 19, so it's been a while. I mean, I wouldn't mind changing those too, but we only have so long. James is supposed to have this done in half an hour. I think we're approaching 20 minutes.
No, really? Well, I was only going to do one. I said one. We'll do it in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Wasn't anticipating going through the whole cleaning out of the thing.
I'm using it, man. I'm getting.
Well, lucky for you guys, breakfast isn't a sensitive thing. It will still be good later.
Okay, so we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to go to that one, turn the pump on.
That is the pump's timer switch that is used to activate the pump once the pilot house breaker is turned on.
Couldn't do that on the 55, could you?
No, I never did. But it's the same principle, though. Like,
no, you can't.
Why is that?
Because you can't pressurize the fuel supply tank.
Oh, okay. All right.
I mean, you can plumb it so that you can, but you got to be really careful because the supply tank is not designed to have any pressure on it.
Right.
Whereas these manifolds, tubular manifolds, you can pressurize it.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay, so we're good on those two. You wanna?
I'm fine not changing the transfer one, but I would.
You want to do the generator?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do it.
Would you just be quiet? You do not want to be in here. Same concept?
Yep.
Same concept.
Same concept. You guys aren't going to be able to see it, so I'm going to stop.
Container.
So this is the generator filter?
Yep, it's primary on the generator. And do we have that filter ready to go?
Yeah, I do.
What do you need?
I'm going to need a
Container?
wrench for the top of this to bleed it.
It was
Coming back through the return line. Date or anything on this either. Okay, so that's one thing that I would.
We are going to date all the ones that have been
put hours on everything.
Yep, date and hours.
And I usually
And then we
recommend.
might even write it down in a log someplace.
I like to see people put their initials on them too. That way you can ask if they really did it.
Well, we have you on tape. Try to lube that.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and turn that fuel return line back on again. I'm just going to
generator. Okay, return. Yeah, so I've also shut the fuel pump off. You want me to turn the fuel pump on and see what happens? Here we go.
No, don't.
Okay. Is it?
Okay. Yeah. So turn the return line back off. Okay, very gently open up the fuel supply there for the generator. Don't open it all the way, just crack it. There we go. Alright. Just, is it cracked?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright. So we're getting filtered fuel.
Oh, okay.
A little bit more. A little bit more.
So that's how you fill the filter then?
Go ahead and open the valve a little bit more. Go ahead. Okay, close it. Now open it to touch. Oh, we're almost full. Open it to touch. So these lift pumps on these generators are notoriously terrible for But when I'm pumping a lift pump on an empty filter, I usually do it like this, and that way I can see if the fuel's actually moving. Because sometimes you'll pump that lift pump forever and nothing
comes.
You're not getting any fuel, especially if the fuel level in the tanks is low.
Okay. So you say you leave the filter off and you pump the pump?
I just hold the filter here and pump like this so that I can see
whether it's working
the
or not.
fuel that you're getting is already filtered, right? It's already gone through the rake bore.
Yep.
So I'm not too worried about getting any dirt in here.
Okay,
because it's coming
already filtered, 10 micron filter.
Yep. Now, okay, we're getting close. I can see it.
Just slowed it down a little
Just
bit.
crack it again. So there is a bleed on the top of this.
Yep.
If we get this completely full, we may not even need to bleed. Go ahead.
Close it.
No, open a little bit. A little bit more open. There we go. That's good. Okay, stop.
Okay, stop. Now you see that bleed valve is right there in front of you, directly in front.
Right on the top.
Yep. Okay. So I was able to take fuel out of the wing tank and fill it virtually full, fill the filter virtually full.
Well, you got to be careful with that because you don't know how clean the fuel is in the wing tank.
It's been through 30.
I know, but then it's been in the tank.
Oh, it's true. Yeah, it's true.
And how clean is the inside of the tank?
No, that's true. Okay. This is much better. This is even actually better for as far as cleanliness.
We know that it's clean.
Yeah.
Simple green, maybe?
Green?
Yeah. There's a piece of clean paper towel. Need a piece of clean paper towel as well.
Good.
And a Sharpie, or a, however you want to do it.
I'm going to put, I'll make labels and put labels on them.
Here I am, making this filter nice and clean. The rest of the generator doesn't look very spectacular. But we'll get a new one.
But she's running like a champ,
runs like
though.
a top.
Yep. We'll change the oil and drop the coolant here after a while. And
Did anybody change the oil in
No.
the oil filter?
No.
So this is the way
This
it came
is-
to?
yes.
Okay, so we probably need to do that when we stop next as well.
I think
Or
so.
when we get to where we're going.
Okay.
Because there's no numbers on the filter
No.
either.
No.
Okay, so if we give it a shot and start it, I guess. Just
See
make
what
sure
happens.
make sure we don't have any air in there.
When it starts, do you want me to leave it running for a while, or do you want to just shut it off after it runs?
No, let it run for a minute or so.
Okay.
And you may find it struggles for a little bit. If it does, just keep cranking it
Okay.
for a maximum of about 10 seconds, okay?
Okay.
Maybe a little less.
Bigger one?
Well, let me see if I can. No, it's loose. Interesting.
That's not good.
No,
Here is a wrench for this.
not really what you want, but luckily it got us here. Jeez. Not quite sure who or when. Well, I know when. 2021. What problem?
You can tell what Eric's done because he puts little labels on it right afterwards.
Yep. That's good. Good. It does have a little drain in the bottom.
Yes, it does.
Seems too bad.
fuel pump,
So with the
pump it
fuel
up.
pump, basically, when you go to turn the key, I'm going to open up the main engine. I'm going to pressurize. In fact, if you look at the gauge right there, and I open the fuel valve, you'll see the pressure go. See? So that's pressurizing not only the raycore, but the filter, on-engine filter, the fuel system. So I'm just going to run it off of the fuel pump just for a
moment or two.
yeah, just to make sure it pumps any air through.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to start it.
I ran the fuel pump, and then after a few seconds, just obviously there was no faltering or anything. I just
Switched your back.
yeah,
Okay.
opened up the port tank, closed off the fuel pump supply, and then it was running. Just off of it, so.
Awesome.
Right, so now it's time to clean up,
Yeah.
put some labels on the filters, and move on to the next project.
And go get breakfast.
Oh yeah.
The main engine secondary filter that is now on securely. And we are leaving Coinjock. Cute little place. Good to visit. And next week we continue our trip up the Intercoastal Waterway, headed north.
Havaseas you next time.